Well, what would a production company be without a lot of pressure putting on your back? And it's something I've always dealt with, and something I've tried to, put aside. There's always a lot of pressure whenever you're making videos. You always have that pressure to say, I want to make sure it gets done on time. I want to make sure that everything is right. I want to make sure that people are going to be paying attention. And again, I hope to have people that like what I do. At first I was scared about people not liking what I did, and that was putting even more pressure on me at the time, because I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be very successful in everything that I did. And everything you're going to do in life is not going to be perfect. I get that. But when I put that pressure on myself, it tells me that, I wasn't ready. I was putting way too much on my plate at one time, and I wasn't going to finish everything that I had on there. And I understood that. Not at first, but I understand now compared to back then. I really feel that a lot of shows that I've done that were either thought of or either planned out or didn't even make it to the editing floor, I think was a lot due to a lot of pressure that I was being put under getting all these shows out. And I think that I was at fault for that, because I made scheduled dates for some of the shows I did back then, and I wasn't able to come through on it because of improper planning and procrastinating and taking way too long to work on episodes. And it really kind of hit home to me. And when I was at that point where I was about maybe 2-3 days before a deadline, I would kind of scramble around and just trying to put things together at the last minute, even go as far as staying up late. And I mean staying up all night long just trying to get one episode done and making sure that it was right, it was edited correctly, that I didn't make any mistakes, that I made sure that it was perfect for the viewing eyes before I actually set it out to, share with the world. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And when it didn't, I literally got to the point where I said, you know what, screw this. I'm not going to put it out there. I waited up all night to try to put the show together, and all of a sudden it didn't work. So, screw it. I'm not going to air it. So I literally had to go back on my word and say, sorry guys, I tried so hard to get this episode out on time and I couldn't do it. So, I apologize for that, but I'll make sure I get the episode out. A lot of people understood, some didn't. Some were kind of a little upset at me for that. And I can understand why, because I wanted to really just make sure that everything that I did was going to be on time, make sure I had everything ready, and I failed at most of it. And I think the main reason why was because not only was it just pressure, but it was definitely due to the fact that I didn't have anything set up according to, like a plan. I didn't have a layout, like a blueprint. That's the word I'm looking for, a blueprint. I didn't have a blueprint to set up for any of the shows that I did. And because of that, everything just kept getting bunched together. Like I would do one show on like a Monday, and then I'd have like 5 on a Thursday, which really not only took way more pressure than I thought that I could handle, but it actually took away things from my life that I wanted to do, outside of these walls. Everybody's like, oh, let's go do this, let's go do that. I will once I finish this. When I finish this show, I need to get this done, and I'll make sure I get this done. Once I get this done, then we can just do whatever we want. That kind of hit a little snag there, if you catch my drift. But it was more of me putting more pressure on myself to get all these shows done, and because of that, it really hurt. It hurt me mentally, and it also hurt me professionally, because I wanted to put something together so quick and always doing it at the last minute, and it really just bothered me to the point that I would get headaches. I would really get headaches from me doing so well, and then all of a sudden just starting to put everything together at the last minute, and it's really dumb. I couldn't handle it, and then I told myself, you know what, I'm not going to put myself in any more kind of pressure like this. If I say I'm going to put an episode out, I will put it out. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm not going to do things at the last minute. If I say it's going to be out on Monday, it will be out on Monday, and I will plan accordingly. That way I won't have to sit here and spend every last minute in the day before trying to get something out that should have been done about 3-4 days ago. So that way, if I do that, then the pressure's off me. I can just say, all right, this is done, let's move on to the next thing. Let's get that out of the way. And I really think that really took hold when I did Criminals Deep Thoughts, and I finally decided to end it after 8 seasons, because it was a lot of pressure of me putting one episode out a month, and I would always wait to the last minute to do it. And I know a lot of people out there can vouch for that, and one in particular. But it was it really just hit home to me when I realized that they were right. Putting all this pressure on me was not good. It wasn't healthy, and I took out my frustrations on people that I shouldn't have, and it was I take the blame for it. I take full responsibility for it, and it was my fault. So at this point now, it's just I want to do what I want to do and not have any pressure behind it. And if I say that I'm going to plan something, let's say I'm going to try doing this, I'm going to try planning this out and planning that out, and I'm like, forget that. If I'm going to make a show and I'm going to put it out there, then it's going to go out there. I want to plan things, but it's not easy to do. Once I plan to do an episode, it's going to be added pressure. I don't want that pressure anymore. I just want to be free to do anything that I can come up with, anything creative, anything thoughtful, and then I can just sit there and say, you know what? No more pressure on me, and I can actually do this job, and it works. It's been working now, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm happy right now.